Hey guys, and welcome to today's tutorial on another one of my favorite page styles. Okay, so let's just start with the tutorial for today. And the first step we always need to do for any of those page styles is to cut and score our cardstock as well as our pattern papers. And for the measurements, you can refer to the cutting guides and templates which are available in my Etsy store for different album sizes. And when I cut my cardstock and pattern paper, I always like to label all the elements I have cut. So this is just an example on how to use your cutting guides for cutting and scoring your cardstock and pattern papers. And then after scoring, you can go ahead and do the next step. So the next step for this page style is to attach tape right next to the scoring lines. So we have already scored our cardstock and now we can take our 3/8 of an inch tape, so at least that's what I like to use, and you just want to make sure that you place it on this little flap we have created with scoring, and you just place it right next to the scoring lines without actually covering the scoring lines. And after attaching our tape, we want to cut off the corners of the little flaps we created with scoring. So for this, I like to turn around my cardstock and then I get my small scissors and I just cut at an angle right next to the scoring lines. And just make sure that you don't accidentally cut into the scoring lines, but just next to them. Once you have cut off the corners, you can go ahead and actually fold up the little flaps we created. And for this, turn around your cardstock because you don't want to fold it up on the side where you scored it or where you placed the tape on. So we want to fold it on the back side. And then I also like to get my bone folder and burnish it down. Now for the next step, we want to attach our ribbon onto our basic page. And for this, first I want to find the middle of the basic page. So I get my ruler and then I just mark the middle on both sides. And I really love the Tim Holtz ruler for this because it makes finding the middle so easy. And then you would need to just rip off 2 pieces of tape and place them right there where you marked the middle. And then you can get the ribbon and remove the tape backing on one side and then just attach it to the tape. And to make it stick in place, I actually like to get another piece of tape and just place it on top of the ribbon as well. So this is just to secure it a little bit more. And then we need to repeat the same for the second piece of ribbon on the other side. So now that our ribbon is attached, we can continue by adding our cardstock elements A onto the basic page. And for this, I like to just remove half of the tape backing from the first cardstock element A, and then I hold up the sticky side and I use the non-sticky side to actually align cardstock element A with the edge of the basic page. And then I get the second cardstock element A and I make sure that it's perfectly aligned with the first one, and then I also attach it on the opposite side, and then I continue by also adding the last 2 cardstock elements A as well. And after attaching my cardstock elements, I always like to get my bone folder and burnish it down. And as you can see, I don't use a ruler here, so I actually just eyeball it. So you want those cardstock elements A to be in the middle of the page, of course, but yeah, I actually don't really measure it, but I always make sure that the cardstock element on the opposite side is perfectly aligned to the already attached one. So now you can continue by adding the pattern paper for the basic page onto the basic page, and for this I like using wet glue instead of tape, because by using wet glue you're still able to move around your pattern paper and find the right position so that you have an even border around your pattern papers. And because I noticed that I used a little bit too much glue, I got my glue eraser and I just removed all the glue marks on the border. And then for the last step, to finish up this page style, we just need to cover our cardstock elements A with the pattern papers A. And again, I like using wet glue instead of tape for this, because then I'm still able to move around the pattern paper and have an even border around my pattern papers. And that's the finished page style number 34. I really liked including this page style in my Christmas albums, because to me it looks like a present or like a gift, and you can actually include 4x6, or for the 6x6 inch albums, 3x4 inch photos, and then you could also add some photos on the basic page in the middle. And yeah, I think it's a very fun interactive page style. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. And if you did so, I would love to get your feedback in the comment box down below. And of course, it would also mean a lot to me if you could give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So I hope that you are having a great day, and I would love to see you in my next video.